extra base hits, all doubles. 4 RBI. That's high. 2-2. Crystal Casario, as we mentioned, a very quick worker. Casario, a sophomore from Pennsbury High School, and gets her for strike 3. That is the first strikeout of the game for either team. And now Sam Hastings, the center fielder, comes to the plate. She fouls that off. A very hot-hitting Flannery McFadden on deck. Out of play, and quickly Casario gets ahead 0-2. Hastings with 8 hits and 33 at-bats this season. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Second strikeout for Casario in a row. And that'll bring up Flannery McFadden, the speedy left fielder, who's been a platoon player but very effective when she's played. Takes that pitch for a ball. She's hitting .471, 8 hits and 17 at-bats. She's got great bat control, and she's got great speed and is an excellent bunter, too, as she fouls that off. It's interesting. Brophy, the third baseman, and Landis, the first baseman, not playing up that much. Swings through that one, and it's 1-2. But Tran led off with a single, and she gets her for strike 3 and strikes out the side. So after Swarthmore got the first 2 runners on with base hits, Casario gets 3 straight strikeouts, no runs, 2 hits, 2 left on base. We're entering the top of the third, and we have no score between Swarthmore and Penn State Brandywine. For the Nittany Lions, it'll be batters 2 through 4 coming up. Gianna Turpalilli, Megan Ferry, and Peyton Landis. Penn State Brandywine, by the way, coming off, let's just say, a decisive doubleheader win on March 25th. That was the last time the Nittany Lions played, beating Penn State Scranton 26-0, obviously in 5 innings, the 8-run rule. And in the second game, 21-1. 47 runs in one day. Quite an offensive assault. And that was a Penn State University Athletic Conference game. So Gianna Turpalilli will lead things off. she had a walk. Later was out on a fielder's choice. Batting .442. Lily with 3 doubles, a triple, and 10 RBIs. Inside, ball 2. Three 3-0 the count. Lily probably to take a couple here. That's a strike. Lily with a great eye. She entered the game with a .564 on base percentage. That walk was her 11th of the season. Outside corner for strike 2. So Glatz, who got behind 3-0, now has a full count to the leadoff hitter here in the top of the 3rd inning, Gianna Turpalilli. And she gets her for a cold strike 3. That's an excellent job by Glatz coming back after being down 3-0. For Glatz, that is her first strikeout of the game, and center fielder Megan Ferry is up. She hit into a fielder's choice her first time up. Low, ball 1. It's funny, we know we have threatening rain here today. We've had a few drops here. It's getting a little dark, but then the sun has come in and out here as there's a strike, 1-1. That strikeout for Glatz was her 20th of the season. There's a base hit to left field, and Ferry is a 1-out base runner. And she remains hot. Peyton Landis now to the plate. Landis grounded out to Simon at short, her first time up. Strike 1. Ferry at first has stolen 6 bases this year. Oh, excellent job by McClammy on a ball that came bouncing in. Landis is a junior from Coatesville, PA, playing in the Chestmont League. Out of play. 1-2. Gwen Glatz on the mound, making her 5th start of the season. Little hanger there to right field. Kate Hart makes the catch. Ferry tagging up, and she'll get the second. And we talked about the speed that Ferry, the junior from Gloucester, had, and I think Melissa Finley was asking the umpire if the runner had left early, that if Ferry had left early. Yep, they confer, and so for the second straight inning, Penn State Brandywine has a runner in scoring position. That'll bring up Carly Reese, the catcher. Reese singled her first time up. And that ball's up the middle for a base hit. Ferry coming around the throw home, and she'll make it for the first run of the game on the RBI single by Carly Reese. Reese right up the middle. That is her 9th RBI of the season, and Penn State Brandywine leads it 1-0. Crystal Casario now the pitcher. She had a base hit her first time up. Takes that pitch for a strike on the outside corner. That one actually hit off her foot that time. Oh and 2. Nice job by McClammy on that outside pitch. You notice there, if young catchers out there, McClammy had tremendous footwork getting to that ball. She didn't depend on just stabbing it with her glove. She got out, got her body there, and that was great footwork. 1-2. That's high and tight. 2-2 now. Penn State Brandywine. Offense has not been a problem this year for the Nittany Lions. They came into this game batting .335. There's a base hit to left field. Casario's 2 for 2 now. And that'll bring up Destiny Brophy, the third baseman. The wind's starting to whip up here a little bit. Again, we said intermittently it's been raining. Grounder right there to Bertrand, and she throws it to Harai. Flips it over to Harai for the third out. So score that 3-4. But there was 1 run in the inning on 3 hits and 2 left on base. We're heading into the bottom of the third inning, and it's Penn State Brandywine leading Swarthmore 1-0. 1-5-1 for the visitors. For Swarthmore, 0-1-0. Of course, Crystal Casario got in a lot of trouble last inning. Leadoff singles to Bertrand and Simon, and then she struck out the next 3 batters. So it'll be the top of the order for Swarthmore. Maya Estrella, Laura Harai, and Gwen Glatz here in the bottom of the third inning. Estrella grounded or lined out to Jesse James at shortstop, her first at bat. That lowered her average to 538. Pop to center, Furry. Didn't have to move a whole lot, makes the catch for the first out. I'll tell you, Furry covers a lot of ground in center field. Laura Harai pops it up. And Jesse James makes the catch for the second out. Two up, two down. That'll bring up the pitcher, Gwen Glatz, who had a base hit her first time up. Gwen is now batting .450 with that base hit. That's good late movement that time by Casario. She gets ahead 0-2. High, ball one. Just outside, ball two. Low and the count's full. Glatz entered the game with a .477 on-base percentage, and she gets her for a third strike. Not called third strikes. That is the fourth strikeout for Casario. So no runs, hits, nobody left on base. We're through three, and it's Penn State Brandywine leading Swarthmore by a 1-0 score. It looks like Bertrand is now coming to the mound to pitch. So Bertrand, who was playing first base, will be pitching. Glatz often plays third base, so we'll see how this goes. Yep, Glatz is at third base. McClammy is going to go to first base. Olivia McClammy at first base. So the catcher will be Brooke Canini. So the changes are, it'll be Estrella going from third base to left field. Gwen Glatz, the starting pitcher, is now at third base. Olivia McClammy, who was the catcher, now goes to first base. Brooke Canini is the new catcher. And Emily Bertrand is the pitcher for Swarthmore. You got all that? As the rain's starting to come down a little bit harder here. So Glatz goes the first 3 innings. Leanna DeDeos leading off for Penn State Brandywine. Glatz allowed the 1 run, 5 hits. There's a strike 2. The run was earned, 2 walks and a strikeout. Foul. Glatz threw 56 pitches. That ball got stuck right in front of us. Bertrand is 2-0. This is her 5th appearance, a 1.35 ERA. 10 1/3 innings, 9 walks, 9 strikeouts, and gets her for strike 3. So Gianna Casal, who walked her first time up, nice stab back there by Canini. Again, it's been a weird weather day here. The rain would start and the wind would start blowing and then it would stop. Did that hit her? Yes, it did. So the number 9 batter in the lineup hit by a pitch, and that turns the lineup over to Jesse James. James is 0 for 2. Lined out to second and grounded out to first. Swings through that one for strike 1. Low, nice stab by Canini again. James is now batting .367. Grounder up the middle. Simon with 1. Throw was wide as it pulled McClammy off the bag, but they do get the force at second. So James is a 2-out base runner. And that'll bring up Gianna Turpalilli. James leads Penn State. Brandywine with 10 steals, and she's off there. She got a great jump, and she's in for stolen base number 11. First three batters in this Penn State Brandywine lineup, very fast runners. Canini making a nice stab there. 2-0 to Gianna Turpalilli, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Walked in the first inning. Oh, that ball gets by for a wild pitch. James going to third. Three and 0 count, and the dangerous Megan Ferry on deck. That's outside for ball 4. So Turpalilli, who has 4 stolen bases at first, let's see if there's any kind of activity on the base pass. Let's see what Coach Mark Caserta does. And Melissa Finley out to talk to her team about these possibilities. You know, do you throw down the second? Do you fake the throw there? Just getting the defense together. Penn State Brandywine leading 1-0 here, top of the 4th. Ferry is 1 for 2, hitting to her fielder's choice first time up. Last time up, singled and ended up scoring on the RBI single by Reese. Pop up, out of play. She swings through that, and it's 0-2. So Jesse James, the runner at third. Gianna Turpalilli, the runner at first. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in top of the 4th. Outside, 1-2. Getting that pitch by Bertrand. Had great movement on it. Conini did a good job getting out to that pitch. And a called third strike. So Bertrand gets out of that jam. No runs, no hits, 2 left on base. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning, and it's Penn State Brandywine leading by a 1-0 score. 1-5-1 for the Nittany Lions, 0-1-0 for the Garnet. Swarthmore will have cleanup batter Olivia McClammy leading off. It'll be McClammy, Bertrand, and Alex Simon. Casario has only thrown 45 pitches through 3 innings. Allowed 3 hits so far, 4 strikeouts. So McClammy steps to the plate. She popped up to second base her first time up. Takes that first pitch for a ball. McClammy hitting .540. Pop up. DeDeos makes the call for the first out. Emily Bertrand, now the pitcher, started the game at first base. She singled her first time up. There's a strike. Out of play. That one rolled in there. It's 1-2. Just out of the strike zone, 2-2 to count. High ball 3. Bertrand now hitting .428. Grounder by second base by DeDeos. That'll be a base hit. So Bertrand's on for the second time today, and she's a 1-out base runner. Okay. So that'll bring up Alex Simon, the shortstop. Takes that first pitch for a strike. There's a long drive to center field. Ferry going back makes the outstanding catch there. Ferry got a great jump on the ball. And Simon really tagged it. By the way, into the game as a pinch runner is Kat Reed at first base. Reed going. And she is out of there on the throw by Carly Reese. Tremendous job by Reese that time. So no runs, a hit, and nobody left on base. We're through 4 innings in what has been a tight game. It's Penn State Brandywine 1. And the Garnet nothing. Bertrand back into the game on the mound in her second inning of action. Bertrand got in a little bit of trouble in her first inning, threw 18 pitches. Dayton Landis to lead things off in the 5th for the Nittany Lions. There's a ball to deep right field. Hart can't get it. Landis going to second with a stand-up double. Keep in mind with the wind today, those fly balls to the outfield are very hard, very difficult. Yeah, we're going to have a pinch runner for Landis now. It'll be number 1, Cassidy Hoffman, a freshman, another player from Pennsbury High School. So Hoffman, the runner at second base. And Carly Reese, who is 2 for 2 and drove in the game's first run. In fact, drove in the game's only run with an RBI single in the 3rd inning. One and one. Reese now batting .425. Thought about offering for that. Held up. 2 and 1. So she's upped her average already with those first 2 hits by 25 points today. That's a little bit of a number. This is going to be a tough play, and they're not going to be able to make it. It'll be runners at the corners with the infield base hit by Reese. So Casario could help her own cause here. Crystal is 2 for 2 with 2 base hits. That one slapped foul. She's now batting .348. High for ball 1. So Hoffman, the runner at third, Reese at first. Swings through that for strike 2. 1-2 the count. We talked about the offense of this Penn State Brandywine team. Sort of like a half bunt. Nice job there that time by Bertrand. But she's safe. Thought Bertrand did a nice job holding the runner at third base. But now the bases are loaded. Destiny Brophy, who is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. And there's going to be another runner, I think. Yep. Coming in, it'll be Becky Valente for Casario first base. So Bertrand in a jam here in the 5th. There's strike 1. Brophy now hitting .341. Grounder. Bertrand. There's out at home. Over the first for the double play. So now there are 2 down with runners at second and third, and that'll bring up Leanna De Deos. Grounder past second for a base hit. 1 run will score. Coming home and out. So a tremendous job by Sam Hastings on that throw home. But 1 run will score on that, and the Nittany Lions now lead it 2-0. So Hastings on the throw home, limits the damage, but it's still 2-0 here as we enter the bottom of the 5th. A lot of action for only 2 runs scoring. One run on 3 hits that inning. 1 left on base. We said this is a Penn State Brandywine team that has had a lot of offense now. Counting today's 2 runs, the Nittany Lions have scored 133 runs on the season. So it'll be the bottom of the order for the Garnets: Kate Hart, Sam Hastings, and Flannery McFadden here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Crystal Casario has been very impressive on the mound. That drops in. That's going to be extra bases. Hart rounding first. She'll get the second on a stand-up double to lead things off here in the 5th. For Hart, that is her 5th double of the season. And now Sam Hastings at the plate. Pop to right. Turpa Lily makes the catch. Hart easily tags third. I said McFadden was batting this inning. Excuse me. That's Brooke Canini. This will be her first at bat today. There's a base hit, and that'll bring in the first run. This will be extra bases. Canini rounding first. She'll get the second on an RBI stand-up double. So 2 doubles here for Swarthmore, and it is now 2-1. Penn State Brandywine, and that brings up the top of the order. Estrada with a long shot, and that'll drop in. Turpa Lily was turned around. She's got great speed. She'll get the third. Canini scores. So we are now tied at 2 on the RBI triple by Estrada. Laura Harai. Showed bunt, but pulled back, and that was a ball. So plenty of offense here in the 5th inning for the Garnet. Hart led off with a double. Canini had a 1-out RBI double. And then Estrada with the RBI triple. And she walks. Runners at the corners now. And just remember, Harai at first base is 6 for 6 in stolen bases. And there she goes, and they're not even going to try to get her. Stolen base number 7. Harai at second, Estrada at third. There's a shot to right field, and that's going to be over the head to the fence. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score on the 2-run double by Gwen Glatz. So Swarthmore has erupted for 4 runs here in the bottom of the 5th. For Glatz, they are RBI number 12 and 13 on the season. And still with 1 out, that'll bring up Olivia McClammy. There's strike 1. So Crystal Casario had pretty much coasted through the first 4 innings. Not so here in the 4-run 5th. There's a shot that's going. Ferry under it. Again, tagging up is Glatz going to 3rd. Emily Bertrand, who's 2 for 2 on the day. And that ball's up the middle for a base hit for the 5th run now. Emily is now 3 for 3 on the day. That's her first RBI of the day. And her 11th of the season. Alex Simon, who is the 9th batter this inning now. Just missed. 2-0. That's foul. 2-1. Kate Hart, who started this inning with a double, is on deck. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. That's high. Counts full. And that's a base hit by the 3rd baseline. Bertrand will go to 3rd. And Simon with a stand-up double. Five extra base hits for Swarthmore this inning. And Kate Hart, who started it all with a double, came around the score, is up. She's 1 for 2 today. Here's a strike. Casario ahead of the count, 0-2. Runners at 2nd and 3rd, 2 down. And there's a shot to deep left field. Will it stay in play? Out of play. Hart really tagged that. Melissa Finley at third base was trying to give it some body English to kind of stay in. Heart really erupting here. So this inning alone, she has her 5th double of the season, scored her 5th run of the year. That one's out of play. Really an impressive offensive arsenal here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Garnet. And a called third strike. But not before there were 5 runs, 6 hits, 2 runners left on base. So we're through 5, and it is Swarthmore leading 5-2. Like Casario was really coasting, and then Swarthmore in that inning. Hart led it off with a double after an out, an RBI double by Brooke Canini. Estrada had a RBI triple after a walk to Harai. Glatz with a 2-run double. Following a flyout, Bertrand with an RBI base hit. So, you know, we were talking about the offense of Penn State Brandywine and being very impressive. Swarthmore, this is the Garnet's 12th game, and they have now scored 81 runs. So it'll be Gianna Casal, then the top of the order, Jesse James and Gianna Turpalilli. Here for Penn State Brandywine, trying to get back in this game. Casal has been on base twice. She walked and was hit by a pitch in the foot. That's out of the strike zone. 1-1 to count. So that means she's still hitting .333. 8 for 24 on the season. That one got away from Bertrand. Marcus Serta, the head coach, who's also coaching third base for Penn State Brandywine, just wanted to make sure on the count. 2-1. Outside, ball 3. So Swarthmore, which hadn't played for, this was the 9th day due to rainouts and everything, took a little while to get its bats together. And Casal is on the base for the 3rd straight time, here with a leadoff walk in the 6th. they're meeting on the mound. By the way, Casario, even with that rough inning, has still thrown 80 pitches through 5 innings. So that'll bring up Jesse James, the leadoff hitter. Outside, ball 1. Casal, the runner at first, has not stolen a base this year. There's a strike. 1-1 to count. James is 0 for 3, but she did get on a fielder's choice last time up and actually stole a base. Outside, 2-1. That increased her team lead to 11 stolen bases. Outside, 3-1. Bertrand has walked 2 batters since coming in the 4th. And that's ball 4. Gianna Turpalilli at the plate. She's 0 for 1, but she's been on base twice with walks. Bunts foul. Again, with the way Turpalilli runs, not sure she's just bunting. She's bunting for sacrifice. I think she's bunting for a base hit. Marcus Serta, the head coach, talking to her there. Glatz, the third baseman. McClammy, the first baseman. Likely both will be charging here. That shows bunt, pops it up. Conini with the catch. So there's the first out, and Megan Ferry, who was 1 for 3 with a single and run scored. Ferry with 14 RBI on the season. Pop up. Harai calling for it. She misses it. And how about Conini gets the out at third base? Now they're talking about this. They're talking about a possibility of an infield fly there. We told you the way the wind is playing tricks on things, no such thing as a routine pop-up here. They're still conferring. The umpire's still conferring on this. There were runners on first and second. Melissa Finley stating her case for Swarthmore. Okay, they are calling an infield fly, as we just got the explanation. They said the batter is out. But Ferry's still at first base, so we'll see what happens here. I think it should be runners at second and third. Yeah, the batter is out, so Ferry should be all. Yeah, he's going off the field now. So that's what it was, an infield fly. And that'll bring up Dayton Landis with 2 outs, runners at second and third. Swarthmore leading 5-2. And there's a strike. Landis is 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. She's the tying one here. Emily Bertrand trying to get out of this inning. Simon with the scoop over the first for the 3rd out. So Swarthmore averts some danger that time. No runs. No hits. 2 left on base. We're heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, and it is Swarthmore 5 and Penn State Brandywine 2. What a game this has been. Again, Swarthmore in the 5th inning. Scored 5 runs. And we're going to have a new pitcher on the mound. For Penn State Brandywine. It'll be Rebecca Holford, a sophomore. Again, another local product from Garnet Valley High School. Yep. Rebecca Halford coming in for the Garnet. While Casario has been kind of the main pitcher, Halford's also pitched quite a bit. This will be her 11th appearance. She's 5-4 with just a 2.18 ERA in 54 2/3 innings. She has struck out 37 and walked 6. Actually, Casario had struck out 48 and walked 21 in 53 2/3 entering this game. Sam Hastings at the plate. Hastings 0 for 2. Had that great assist, though, from the outfield. Here's a strike, 1-1. Took something off of that for a ball, 2-1. So Casario, 5 innings pitched, 5 runs, all earned, 10 hits. Ball 3. 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. That'll drop in for a base hit. That'll be extra bases. Going to second with a stand-up double to lead off the 6th inning is Sam Hastings. As we said the previous inning, Casario ended up with 80 pitches. Now it's Canini to the plate, who had an RBI double in her first at bat, and that's drilled to the outfield. Well over the head that time of Ferry. Hastings will score and is now 6-2 on the RBI double by Brooke Canini. How about Canini, who had only had 17 at-bats entering the game, but had just 1 double, has 2 here. There's another base hit by Estrar, and coming in is Canini. And it is now 7-2 the Garnet. Laura Harai. Harai drops that in, and that'll be a base hit. So 4 straight hits to lead off the 6th inning for the Garnet. Hastings led off with a double. Canini brought her in with an RBI double. Estrada had an RBI single. And now Harai with the base hit. And that'll bring up Gwen Glatz, a senior, who is 2 for 3. A single, a double, a run scored, and 2 RBI. There's a strike. Halford and Casario have been the main pitchers for this Penn State Brandywine team. There's a ball. And you have to wonder if one of them will be the starter in game 2. Just missed. 2-1. The only other pitcher to pitch was sophomore Sarah Moore. She's only thrown 7 innings this season. And that's a base hit to right field for Glatz. And the 8th run will score. on the RBI single by Gwen Glatz, her third RBI of the day. Five straight hits to start off the inning, and now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Swarthmore. It'll be Grace Taylor, the freshman, coming in from McClammy. McClammy had been 0 for 3. Hit the ball hard, but in some tough luck. And this is Taylor's first at bat of the game. That's low. Nice block by Reese. Taylor's had just 8 at-bats on the season. There's a strike. 1 hit and 8 at-bats. Freshman from Adair, Oklahoma. That's high. 2-2. Still nobody out here in the 6th. Swarthmore leading 8-2. And gets her on the strikeout for the first out. Emily Bertrand now, who has had quite a day. 3 for 3. 3 singles and an RBI. That one's foul. She's now batting .466. Entered the game hitting .407. Grounder, and that ball goes over the glove of Brophy. 1 run scores. Here comes the second. And now going to third is Bertrand. And that is it for the game because of the 10-run rule. What an offensive display here by Swarthmore as the Garnet win by a 10-2 score, and this the first of 2. Two 9-1, 10-16-0. Emily Bertrand, who came in relief, she'll get the win for the Garnet. Emily is now 3-0 on the season. The starter, Crystal Casario, the loss for Penn State Brandywine. So Swarthmore improves to 10-2. Penn State Brandywine drops to 12-7. And we'll be back in about 30 minutes for the second game of this doubleheader between Swarthmore and Penn State Brandywine.